My prediction remains the same. I have Dimitri Bivol beating Canelo Alvarez. Um, Points worth noting that Bivol has the footwork. He has the uh, hand speed, the combinations, the defense, I think, to beat Canelo. So I'm going with Bivol. Canelo has to show me something. It shows me he can beat Dimitri Bivol. He'll have to prove to me he can beat him. But I don't see Canelo beating Dimitri Bivol. I've said this from the very beginning. I maintain what I said. I've looked at Dimitri Bivol's fights, and he's he's just one of those boxers that, you know, I sincerely believe Canelo is going to have difficulty beating unless he can move his feet. Like I said before, he produces the footwork that's necessary to beat a guy like that. Now I know Canelo spars Frank Sanchez, who is an excellent heavyweight, but I don't. You cannot use precise footwork to beat Dimitri Bivol. Boxing Monster's in the building. Are you picking against Canelo again? I'm not looking at it that way. I'm just looking at it from what I know, and I just know Bivol's the guy, definitely a guy that can beat Canelo. Not a if, but, so maybe. I'm not even going to argue with anybody about this. You'll just have to see it for yourself. Um, and it's not I'm picking against Canelo. It's just that I think Canelo is limited. I think he can be outboxed. Caleb Plant showed that. Kovalev showed that. And Bivol's going to show that for sure. So, and the reason Canelo gets outboxed is because of his footwork. It's about his foot cardio, the pace at which he moves his feet. It's not that he doesn't have quick feet. He has quick feet. It's not that he's not explosive. He's explosive. Bivol described Canelo's style. If you guys haven't watched the DAZN thing, he described what Canelo does. He uses the high guard, head movement, upper body movement. He counter punches, counter rights, counter lefts, feints the left to the body to the head. So Bivol basically summarized what Canelo is, and a guy like that, knowing what Canelo brings to the table, there's no way. I'm telling you, this guy's a smart fighter. If you haven't watched Bivol, if you guys don't know who Bivol is, if you haven't watched Bivol's fights, I advise you to please go watch them before going in, because he's not a guy that everybody knows. All right? And he's not, I guess for some of you out there, he's not exceptionally exciting. He's not an exceptionally exciting fighter. But he's a counterpuncher. Great spacing, great footwork, great pivot work. Much more seasoned, much more experienced. Been fighting, been boxing since he was 5 years old. So if you think that this guy is just a joke, he is not. Okay. And I'll say this again. I think that Dimitri Bivol, I said it for Caleb Plant, I'm going to say it for Bivol now. Bivol's probably the best possible opponent Canelo could have faced. Charlo wasn't at 168. Benavidez don't got no defense. He's working on that. Andre would have been great, but he's now moving up to 168. He's going to be taking on some Parker guy. Canelo's taking a big chance here. No catch weight, no rehydration clause. He's going old school. Bivol can punch, so Canelo will have to respect his power. So there's a lot going on here, man. The problem with Canelo, this is where I hope he worked on this. Okay? I hope he worked. I want him to prove me wrong. Okay? I hope he worked on this. Your foot cardio, bro. You need to be able to box forwards, backwards. You need to be able to stick and move. At times, you need to bait this guy in so you can counter him. And if you just got what you always had, you're not consistent with that foot speed and that foot movement, that foot cardio, you're going to lose this fight, Canelo. And I said this from way, way back. I didn't even have to look at footage. I know Bivol, that's his thing. Foot movement. That's his thing. He'll stand right in front of you and still won't hit him, right? And he does various other things. He doesn't just, but I don't know, man. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. But me personally, I think Bivol's gonna win this fight. I've been up that since this fight was made. I said the same thing. Watch both fighters confirms what I think it is, and I think Bivol's gonna outbox him. If the opportunity presents itself for him to hurt him, he'll hurt him. But other than that, I think Bivol's gonna outbox him, and Bivol has sufficient power to keep Canelo honest. Canelo's not just gonna walk through Bivol. Caleb Plant only had a jab that could keep Canelo at bay, and even with that, and the Philly shell, and he was doing pretty good. Canelo wasn't really doing much to Caleb, but Bivol is a totally different guy. Bivol also, I'm not going to tell you about Bivol. I'll tell you about Bivol after the fight, because there's a lot Bivol does. But if you want to get a little breakdown on what both fighters can do, check out Boxing Gem's video. Boxing Gem. He did a breakdown of the whole thing. And it is what it is. This is a good fight. This is a good fight. This is a fight where Canelo very much possibly could lose this fight. Of course, the judges might work in his favor because he's a big star and everything. So it might work out for him somehow, some way. Especially if Bivol doesn't just dominate. He might somehow, some way. Because a lot of things that Canelo does, Bivol does. You know. So anyway, that's all I gotta say for that. But there's something else I wanted to say. So I looked at the weigh-in. I watched the weigh-in, and it was interesting. Bivol is Bivol. Bivol is not fazed by anything. He's just focused in on the fight, and so he's just dialed in, like he should be. And Canelo is very happy. You know, you can see he's happy to be appreciated by the Mexican people and to present this fight to them. I'm telling you, man. I mean, Eddie Reynoso and Canelo picked a hell of a fight to fight. This is not. Anyway, you guys would not listen to me, so I'm gonna just let it be. Y'all gonna see for yourselves. I'm not gonna say no more. Right? If y'all think that Canelo's just gonna steamroll through Bivol, well, fine. Maybe he does. Who am I? Maybe I don't know nothing about boxing. You guys may be right. Canelo just dominates him and knocks him out with an 8. All right. I don't think so. But if that's what you think, that's what you think. Now, don't come back after this, though, and be telling me, oh, Mr. Anson, or what you need. You know you was right all along. Or what you need. He really did beat him. Wow, it was Rob, or some kind of shit like that. I don't want to hear that. Okay? I don't want to hear it at the end of the fight. Let's see what happens. If the fight goes, like what I said, I have Bivol by decision. I don't see him knocking out Canelo. Canelo's got good defense. Got good upper body movement, good head movement and all that. But I expect Bivol to, again, go to Canelo's body. I expect him to stick Canelo's body, jab to Canelo's body, use that jab, use that stick quite a lot. And he doesn't use the stick like other guys. So we'll see. I don't know. I could tell you guys a lot, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna leave it alone. Because you guys said I was wrong about Caleb Plant. Okay, Caleb Plant lost. He got knocked out. Alright. Fair enough. And I thought Caleb Plant would back up Canelo. He couldn't. I thought he was a bigger guy, and I thought he would back him up. He didn't really do nothing. Canelo was like in the peekaboo guard, the double guard, waiting for Caleb Plant to do something, and Caleb Plant couldn't do nothing. So Caleb Plant did have a good jab, but that was about it. So let's see. Bivol's the same thing. If it's just going to be like Caleb Plant, Canelo just going to stop him in the 11th round or the 12th round. He's going to stop him, or he's going to walk him down for 12 rounds, or all that shit. We're going to see. I don't believe that. I just don't believe it. So that's what I have to say. And we will see. Come after the fight, we're going to see what happens. All right. But I am of the opinion that after watching at the weigh-in and everything, Bivol looks good. I'm sure both fighters know what each fighter brings to the table, and they're going to have a game plan for each other. So I'm looking forward to it. And we'll see. Bivol always wanted this fight. He wanted a big fight. He wanted to fight with Canelo. He's getting the fight with Canelo. He didn't even have to go down to 168. Canelo's coming up to 175 to face him. Bivol's not a big 175 pounder like them other guys, but he's filled out into the division, so I would say he's a fledged 175 pounder now. Probably coming in 190 something, and Canelo coming in like 170 something, 180 something. So that's how that fight will pan out, and we'll see. We'll see how everything unravels. But you know what? You know what my prediction is. I got Bivol by decision. I think that this fight, based on what Bivol can do, it should not be a very close fight. So Bivol should be able to separate himself. He's going to rise to the occasion, obviously, and he's going to do his thing. Canelo has his nuances and he has his skill sets. I just think his feet are going to betray him. Unless he's worked on footwork, worked on moving his feet rapidly for 12 rounds to keep the cardio. So depending on what pace he wants to go at, or what, all of those kinds of things. But I'm not saying that Canelo's not a absolutely great fighter, but it's just like that James Toney and them guys. He don't move his feet like that. He don't move his feet. He tends to want to minimize how much he moves his feet. So he tries to use precise footwork to walk guys down and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't even know if he's going to be able to walk down Bivol. Bivol might walk him down. Who knows? They might interchange. They may walk each other down. We'll see. I don't know. But it's going to be a very interesting fight. That's what I'm telling you. And Bivol clearly knows what is in front of him. He knows what he has to deal with. And I'm pretty sure he knows what he needs to do to beat Canelo. So, and he's very workmanlike. So, we'll see, man. We'll see what goes down. But you know where I stand on this. I believe Bivol's going to beat Canelo. I'm going to say it again so that all of you guys will be clear. I think Bivol beats Canelo. I'm going with Bivol on this one. We'll see what Canelo brings to maybe persuade me otherwise. I can't see it. I don't understand how a lot more people are not actually picking Bivol to win this fight. I think he's just, I don't know if he's a huge underdog or what. I know he's an underdog in this fight. So if you're putting in bets, it might be a good idea to bet on him just in case. I know Canelo's a big name in boxing, so it would be very hard for the judges probably to go against him. But if it's very obvious, they'll have to go against him. So we'll see. I don't know. But I do believe that the style that he's about to face is going to give him all the problems in the world. Because Bivol's style is based on the jab. It's based on movement. So this should be interesting. Is all I'm going to say. I think Bivol's better than Bidibiev. The fact that Bivol would have taken on Bidibiev tells me that Bivol has the style to beat just about any fighter out there. I am a Bivol fan as well. I recognize him, and I saw him from early in the game. So I'm a fan. I was a fan of Caleb Plant. I'm a fan of Bivol. But I know what Bivol brings to the table, and I'm telling you, man, that's a problem for Canelo. And if, what I like about Canelo though, he got balls. He got balls. He's stepping out there. Eddie Reynoso is probably telling him, go for this. They got balls, man. And say what you want. Canelo be facing the best guys out there. Well, at least he's trying to face the best guys out there and champions and win and beat as many champions as possible. So this is a ballsy move. I'm going to say this. Canelo versus Bidibiev is an easier fight than a Canelo versus Bivol. I'm being real with you guys. Canelo versus Bidibiev or Joe Smith Jr. Joe Smith Jr. is an easier fight than Canelo versus Bivol. So if you guys, all right, I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay. I believe that the best light heavyweight right now in the heavyweight division is Bivol. I want you guys to get the picture. because a lot of you not getting the picture. So if Canelo loses against Bivol, you know, I don't think it's going to be too much of a bad thing. However, it will reflect on the fact that, once again, he has difficulty with a certain style of boxing. Okay, Caleb went 11 rounds with Caleb. He hurt Caleb. I'll give him props. Got Caleb out of there. But that's because of the experience. Caleb didn't have the experience to know what to do when he got hurt. Dimitri Bivol, we will see. We will see how this fight turns out. Bivol, is a dude that he knows how to win and he knows how to fight. So this is going to be interesting. I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see how it pans out. In boxing, anything can happen. But I mean, I'm trying here to be as fair as possible. I just don't see it, people. You got to help me see it. Canelo gonna have to show me that he can beat Bivol, because I can't see it. I'm being absolutely honest with you. This is a great pick that Canelo picked, because this is a guy that can beat him. Literally, he can beat it. Bivol can beat Canelo. I can't believe you guys can't see this. I said my piece. You know what I mean? I can't even believe this fight's happening, to be honest with you, because this is a guy that actually can beat Canelo. Really. That's why I picked him. I picked Bivol from the get-go. When I heard Canelo's facing Bivol, I was like, what? Canelo facing Bivol? Bivol's gonna beat Canelo. He gotta work on his footwork. He gotta work on his footwork. Hopefully he worked on his footwork. Because you can't do what you was doing to Triple G to this dude. You can't do what you do to Triple G to this dude. I wonder if you guys understand me. Triple G's slow. Bivol's not slow. Like, are you guys understand what I'm saying? Alright, now, I guess you got to see it for yourself. I'm done. Catch you guys later, man. I'm looking forward to the fight. I called it. I'm gonna leave that alone. I can't believe people don't believe Bivol has a chance. Even Eddie Hearn, I heard Eddie Hearn saying Bivol's focused on everything and he's underestimating Bivol. I can't believe it, but it is what it is. I guess the judges might just give it to Canelo or something. I don't understand. I don't understand how. Maybe because I don't know. Because Bivol's behaving normal. He's just cool, calm, collected. The hoopla is not doing anything to him. He's very composed. I don't know, man. I don't know. And Canelo knows Bivol's a very good fighter. He's actually said that time and time again. But you know what? I gotta give Canelo the credit in that he's given the fans fights. I don't even know if the fans appreciate this fight. They don't understand how difficult this fight is. This is a difficult fight. And yes, Canelo's confident in his skills and abilities, but this is a difficult fight. I just think so. I don't know, man. I don't understand it. I followed Bivol for a while, so I know what he brings to the table, and I'll try and break down what he brings to the table. Maybe after the fight. I'll do it after the fight. I'm gonna do it after the fight if Bivol wins. I'm gonna do it after the fight. Yeah. And even if he doesn't win, I'm still gonna bring what he does to the table, because he brings a lot to the table, man. He brings a lot to the table. He does a lot of things, a lot of interesting stuff. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm like second guessing myself. I'm like, how could everybody be so confident that Canelo's gonna beat Bivol? I don't understand that. None of this makes any sense to me. Maybe the fight's fixed or something. I don't understand. How could everybody be? I don't understand it. I even saw the whole Mayweather camp, but most people don't know who Bivol is. So like well, Canelo's gonna shine some light on Bivol. Everybody gonna know who Bivol is after this fight. But Even my dude, Jeff Mayweather, he doesn't know who Bivol is, so he just picked Canelo. Uh, I mean, this is a sleeper, man. Bivol's a very good fighter. Very good fighter. Very good fighter. Very good fighter. Guess he's about to make his name in boxing. People are about to know who he is. They are definitely going to know who he is. Yeah, they're definitely going to know who he is after this fight. That was like Pitbull versus Tank. Everybody know who Pitbull is now. Right? He gave Tank a good fight. Didn't win, but he gave him a good fight. Maybe that's what'll happen. Bivol probably will give Canelo a good fight. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand how people could be saying Canelo, man. Canelo's on a thing, and Canelo, and dude, man, I just don't get it. Now maybe Eddie Reynoso knows something. I don't know. Maybe they'll try to go to Bivol's body, but that's what Canelo always do. He go to the body, so I expect him to go to the body. Will he be able to do it early? I don't know. Will Bivol be going to the body? I know Bivol generally goes to the head a lot, and I think he should go to the body more. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't understand it. But I looked at the weigh-in, and they look good. They look good at the weigh-in. Both of them look healthy. Bivol doesn't seem to have any problems. There's no rehydration clause, so Bivol will be fresh. Every opportunity that you could think about, Canelo has given Bivol. Maybe Canelo has this confidence because he's been sparring Frank Sanchez, who's a slick Cuban boxer. Puncher. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. Even though he's been sparring Frank Sanchez, though, he had difficulty with Caleb Plant and the shell and all that stuff. He did catch him late. But he was discouraged in the fight. And Eddie Reynoso was like, keep your composure, man. Maybe he catches Bivol with some body shot or something. I don't know, man. I don't know. Bivol's got good defense. He blocks it with the two guard in the front. So maybe that's what Canelo's seeing. Something familiar. I don't know. Bivol does different things. Some of the, like Canelo, he does some of the stuff like Canelo does. So it's just very interesting, though. It's very interesting going to be watching this. I don't get it, though. I don't get it. Because Bivol's got a really good stick. He got a really good jab. He got really good jab. I'm not talking about like Caleb Plant jab. I'm not even talking about Sergey Kovalev jab. He throws the jab different ways. He has different timing. He has different rhythm to his jab. He varies his jab. He'll pop the jab on you just like that. He keeps the jab out there for range. He could freeze the jab like Shakur Stevenson. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand how you guys don't. He's not very predictable with his jab. I don't understand. I'm telling you guys, I don't understand what you guys. I just don't understand. You got to help me understand this, right? This fight, I just don't understand. I'm trying to understand. Help me understand. Why does Canelo beat Bivol? Because he's on a roll? That's not enough. You got to show me what is it about Bivol's game maybe that Canelo can penetrate and break down. You have to show me. Bivol's got a chin. Joe Smith Jr. hit him hard with a right hand. At the end of the round, he kind of buckled a little bit, and that was it. He has a chin, and he will fight you. Bivol will fight you. Bivol's vicious. He will fight. He stand up and fight you. He's from Russia. This dude, he don't play. He's not like Kovalev. And Kovalev was, he didn't have the energy. That's what people were seeing, is because he didn't have the energy when he's fighting Canelo. But he boxed like a motherfucker. Like I said, I was very impressed with Kovalev's boxing. Okay? And he does not box as well as Bivol. I don't understand you guys. Bivol's a master boxer. That's what he does. Do you guys even understand what I'm saying to you? Kovalev throws the jab one way and regularly. Bivol is different. I'm done, man. I'm done. whatever. I'm gonna catch you guys later. I am what you need. Uh, y'all just gonna see what Bivol can bring to the table. Y'all gonna see, and y'all will know. This is Dimitri Bivol. Y'all gonna like this dude, and y'all gonna respect this dude. He gonna show up. I guarantee you that he gonna show up for this fight. You know, he's safeties first. He's a safety first kind of fighter. He's kind of like he's not Mayweather. Okay, he's not Mayweather. So let's just get that right. But he has the mindset similar to a Mayweather, similar to Lomachenko, similar to Alexander Usyk. He fights smart like them guys. But he'll stand in front of you more. But he won't get hit while he's standing in front of you. See what I'm saying? And he's a counterpuncher, like Canelo's a counterpuncher. And he throws combinations. Okay? And I ain't gonna say no more about this dude. Y'all gonna have to see it for yourself. He's gonna put it on display. Come tomorrow night. And y'all will see and be introduced. Those of you who don't know nothing about Dimitri Bivol, y'all gonna be introduced to Dimitri Bivol tomorrow night. And y'all will get to know who this dude is. I guarantee you. Y'all gonna like what you see too. That's all I'm gonna say, because like, you know, people say, you know, they say, what you need, man? You said Caleb Plant would beat Canelo, which he was in a competitive fight with him. Even if you don't think he was winning the fight, he was competitive with him, and to the point of which I thought he was winning the fight when he got stopped. Some people thought Sergey Kovalev was winning the fight when he fought Canelo, and Sergey Kovalev boxed his ass off. I mean, that dude was boxing beautifully. All right, and I didn't know Kovalev could box like that. So I know Canelo can be outboxed. I know this, right? And of all the people to go up against, you know, if he went up against Artur Beterbiev, again, I said Canelo beats Artur Beterbiev. But guess what? He's not the only one. Dimitri Bivol beats Artur Beterbiev. Dimitri Bivol, and he's been trying to get that Beterbiev fight for the longest while. Bivol just wants somebody to step up and face him, and Canelo stepped up and faced him. I can't even believe Canelo did this. This is great. So this is a good fight. This is a very good fight, people. You know what I mean? This is a very good fight. I can't believe it. This is great. This is great. So, I mean, Canelo must know something. So maybe that's it. Or maybe he just wants to test his skills. And he has the confidence because he's been sparring Frank Sanchez, who's a heavyweight, who got all kinds of skills too. So maybe he's saying, well, if I could do it with Frank, maybe I could do it with Bivol. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Because I don't understand it. He must know something. Or or maybe he just wants to test his skills against the best and see what happens. And just he has the confidence, and he's level-headed, and he's on a roll, and he wants to test his skills. I mean, maybe he has more capabilities than I think, and he's going to show me something more. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe he's been learning something new for that style. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But me personally, given his history and given how he struggles, in my opinion, with boxers, and this boxer can punch, and this boxer is exceptional because he is actually a smaller light heavyweight. He's been boxing bigger guys. So this should be interesting when he has to fight this smaller guy. I know Canelo's fast. He's quick. He's got good, reflexes and everything. So that'll be good. He'll be very sharp, I'm sure. It'll be interesting. Maybe he'd be super sharp for Bivol. Maybe too sharp for Bivol. I don't know, man. I'm trying to find a reason to see how he might beat Bivol. I have to find a reason because I don't understand. Maybe I'm not seeing something. Maybe I'm just blinded. I don't know. But this is a great pick by Canelo. Canelo, this is a great pick. I think this guy is a tougher challenge than a Charlo or a Andrade at 168 because those guys are coming up in weight. I would love everything to be like they're at 168 already. People say that David Benavidez would be a big challenge. I don't see it. I don't understand how people could say that Benavidez would be. I think he gets hit too much. I think he gets hit too much. He's big, he's strong, and everything, but I think he gets hit too much. And Canelo's a dude who's been sparring heavyweights. Why be worry about, Benavidez? You know what I'm saying? But of course, if Benavidez wins the opportunity, but I just think that in order of difficulty, we go like this. In my opinion, Benavidez is the least difficult. Then Jamal Charlo is the next most difficult, and then after that we got Andrade and Bivol. Andrade and Bivol are, I think, the most difficult guys right now. Now, at the time, I thought it was Saunders and Andrade, but Saunders, he didn't have no confidence, and he didn't start off well. And by the time he really started to do his thing, he got body punched to death. Bivol's not looking to try and get body punched to death, and he always tries to respect distance and range. So he's not trying to get touched to the body. You know what I mean? He does get hit with body shots though. But we'll see how it goes with that. And then we have Andrade. So I think Bivol and Andrade, Andrade has a different style to Bivol, and it's slick and all of that. So it's a little bit different, but I mean, Bivol's Bivol would clean up shop at 175. So the question is, could Canelo beat Bivol and he clean up shop at 175, or will Bivol beat Canelo and continue on cleaning up shop at 175? That's the question. We'll all find out tomorrow. And I still think Bivol beats Canelo. That's just what I think. You don't have to agree with me. Lots of people don't. A lot of people think Canelo's just going to beat Bivol because he's on a roll. And fair enough. I don't see it, but maybe. But the writing's been on the wall. He's had difficulty with Triple G when he jabbed. I'm not saying he knows how to counter a jab. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is he still had difficulty with guys who jabbed. But he has faced jabbers many times. He faced Cotto, all the great jabbers. Cotto, Triple G. He faced Erislandy Lara. He faced Danny Jacobs. He's faced Sergey Kovalev. He's faced, Callum Smith couldn't do nothing because he's a long-range kind of fighter, so he couldn't do shit. Billy Joe Saunders had no confidence. Dude, you're a southpaw. He started jabbing up and down. He started changing levels and stuff after you got chopped up to the body. You started too late, Billy. And then we had Caleb Plant, who gave him a good run, got caught, and that was that. You know what I'm saying? But again, he was giving Canelo a lot of difficulty with his jab. Just a jab. I mean, he was landing his jab. So I'm just saying that a guy who really knows how to throw his jab, like Andrew Ward would say, you don't just throw a jab. You vary it up. You vary up the speed, the timing, the pace, and Bivol does all those kinds of things. He changes up the speed. He puts real power into his shot sometimes. Sometimes he don't put no power into his shot. It's just touching you. He's so nuanced. So we'll see. I don't know, man. I don't know about what everybody else is seeing, but I see it for what it is, I believe. And what I see is Canelo's going to have problems with Bivol because his foot, he got to get his feet moving for 12 rounds. What I mean by that is you can't be trying to cheat. What happens if Bivol's walking you down? Now you got to use that feet and you got to move around the ring. You must be able to do both. You must be able to go forwards or go backwards. Not just pivot and use upper body and try and slip punches because you're going to get tagged. He will tag you when you try to do that. He will step around you and hit you because that's what Bivol and them kind of guys, Usyk and Bivol, all them kind of guys do. They step around you. You understand what I'm saying? They change up the angle. Anyways, I have said too much. I have talked too much. We will see what happens. Canelo got to up his game when it comes to his feet and moving. And if he does, he can win this fight. No doubt about it. But if he doesn't, My prediction stands. I have Bivol beating him. Right? It's all about the footwork. It's all about the footwork this time around. You gotta move them feet. You gotta move them feet, Canelo, and then you be a complete fighter. But you gotta move those feet. Can't be playing James Toney up in here. You're gonna get out of box. You got to move your feet, going forwards and going backwards. So that's what I'm trying to explain to people, and they just don't get it. They don't understand what I'm saying, because it sounds like, what are you talking about moving his feet? He always moves his feet. Yeah, he moves his feet. Yes, he's quick and all of that, but he can't sustain it. You look at his first fight with Triple G. He was getting tired. Why? Because he's doing too much. He's moving around the ring so much. He's not used to that, and he's not moving around the ring fast enough. But Triple G's a slow dude, so he gets away with it. Against a guy like Bivol, if Bivol's walking you down, he got quick feet, and his cardio is really crazy. So you can't afford to do that against a Bivol. You understand what I'm saying? And Bivol can fight you going forwards or going backwards, and he can also pivot around you. He can do a lot of things. So we'll see. He's got the same kind of movement and pivot turns and angles that Canelo has. So he knows what Canelo would be bringing, and that's why he could describe it, because he understands what Canelo's game is. But he also knows what Canelo's deficient in, and he's going to exploit that. I guarantee you that. He's a smart fighter. He knows what Canelo doesn't do and has to work on, and I guarantee you Bivol's going to work on. He's going to feed off of that. He's going to do in the ring. If he doesn't know it before he goes into the ring. That's why I said it's a winnable fight for Bivol, very much. If Bivol loses this fight, it's because he put himself in a position where he would lose the fight, and that's not going to happen. That's just my opinion. Again, I've been talking about this for way too long, but I said I would put this video out there, and if I'm wrong, I'm cool with it. You know, I'm cool with it. Canelo, more power to Canelo if he beats Bivol. More power to him, because I'm telling you, Bivol's a very, very good fighter. Let me just say, Caleb Plant's a very, very good fighter as well. Let me say that. Because David Benavidez is behaving like, you know, Canelo stopped Caleb Plant and, you know, X, Y, and Z. Well, listen, homie, you better be happy more than you. Yeah, tag you up worse, because you're a punching bag. No disrespect to David Benavidez. What I mean is, the defense is still lacking, David. And you trying to, you know, I see you, but you still getting hit by guys who, you're not supposed to be hit by those guys. You know, guys who are not, they don't belong. You're a two-time world champion. And you're fighting guys who, they're not even contenders, right? Rashid Ellis. Rashid Ellis's brother. He's not even a contender. And he was giving you, and he was trading shots with you. This other kid, what was his name? That he just recently fought, a late-minute replacement, and he's landing shots on you. You're not supposed to have. That's not supposed to happen. Not supposed to happen. Not at that level. You're supposed to have guys at the highest level. You know, you getting tagged up with guys, and it's not supposed to tag you up, man. So your defense, you got to work on your defense, Benavidez, and you got to work on your inside fighting as well. Because otherwise, Canelo would just chop down that tree, boy. He'd be working on that body. He will work your body, boy. That's what Canelo do. That's what he do. He walk him. He'll have Benavidez fighting going backwards. He'll walk his ass down. All right? Because Canelo, you see, you got to understand something about Canelo. Benavidez don't have that kind of foot speed and that foot movement. He's explosive somewhat, but he's a flat-footed fighter. So Canelo gonna have fun with you. Fun with you. People think Benavidez, it'll be an exciting fight, but he'll have fun with you. Charlo, no. He can't just do that with Charlo, because Charlo, explosive, quick, can turn, you know, very athletic. He can't do that with Demetrius Andrade, explosive, quick, athletic, you know what I mean? And Bivol, he's not as explosive as Charlo or Andrade, but he turns like a mother. He turns. He's got that pivot work. He's more robotic looking, you know, all those Eastern European people. But don't get it twisted. He got a little science to what he do. So, you know. and he give you different looks. He give you different looks. You know what I'm saying? And he do a little something something. He do a little something something. But if you gotta knuckle down and bang with you, he gonna bang with you too. He not no Sophie. You know what I mean? So it should be interesting. I'm gonna see how this fight go down. Uh, Bivol also has upper body movement like Canelo, but not like Canelo. It's a bit different. Yeah, it's a little bit different. So that's why it's interesting. It's an interesting fight because Bivol does a lot of things like Canelo, but he got that jab. He got a very good jab. So that's the interesting part of the whole thing. If you got to separate Bivol and Canelo, Bivol has a really good jab. That's what's interesting. And he's a smart fighter, just like Canelo and everything. Canelo's more nuanced. Canelo does a lot of nuanced things. And I think Canelo's sharper, and he probably will be quicker than Bivol going into this fight. So those are two things to watch for. But it's not about being quicker or sharper. It's about the timing and the defense that you may bring to the table. And it's also about how you dictate where and how far away the fight takes place. And Bivol's exceptionally well at dictating range, so that's what makes this fight so very interesting. Because he will dictate the distance at which this fight will take place. That's the first thing Bivol starts to establish from the get-go. From the moment that bell rings, that's what he's going to do. So Canelo has to try to impose the best he can, and try. I guess he's going to try and counter Bivol as Bivol tries to establish range. That's the kind of fight that's going to start off being. And I'm not going to say no more because I don't want to spoil the fight for you guys. But all I will say is that this is an interesting fight, man. This is an interesting fight for any boxing head and a boxing mind. Y'all gonna really enjoy this fight. Now, for the fans, because the average fan will want it to be exciting. People might start booing and stuff, but it's what Bivol brings to the table, and Bivol is just gonna do his fight. He's gonna do what Bivol do, and it's gonna be very interesting, explosive, and exciting initially. And I guess it's just to get the hierarchy going and who's in control, who's trying to gain control. That sort of thing's going to start happening from round one. And we'll see from there where this fight will go, which way it will go. Life itself is a fight, bro. I really believe Bivol will win this fight. A draw at plus 100, 1800, Bivol by decision. At 650 and Canelo at KO at 250 is Bivol by stoppage or KO. 1,105, $100 on all for 400 bet is how I'm betting. Yes, sir. And bruh, you a boxing head, so you know what Bivol brings to the table, right? You've heard the word educated jab. Well, this guy takes it to the next level, and that's just the jab, right? He's a counterpuncher as well, and he can lead as well. So it's going to be very, very intriguing. I would love, but for those of you who don't, I'm going to say again, go to Boxing Gems video. He has a breakdown of what Dimitri Bivol does well, what Canelo does well, and that will tell you exactly what to expect in this kind of fight. Because I'm telling you, man, pivot work, foot cardio, foot speed, foot pacing, all that stuff. It's going to be very important. The most important part of this fight is going to be one with the foundation. It's going to be it's all about the feet. All right? And I always try to tell people aspiring to box or whatever, your foundation is the most important thing. I was on a site. I was on a Facebook group, and people were saying that literally this dude said that Errol Spence has non-existent foot movement. And I was like, what the hell is that? everybody knows, anybody who knows my channel knows Errol Spence, when it comes to pivot work, he is tremendously brilliant at that. That's what gives him his advantage in any fight. His footwork is ridiculous. His ability to drop levels, his ability to move around that ring is exceptional, which is why he's so effective as a pressure fighter. Because he does everything the right way. He comes in off his jab, he comes in off an angle, he angles himself, he's never directly in front of his opponent when he's throwing his combinations. So these are things that a lot of people just don't understand about Errol Spence. They say his head, he doesn't move his head. He obviously moves his head when he's throwing combinations, but when he's coming in, say off an angle or whatever, he may use the high guard because his head is down center line as he's attacking. Because it's hard to keep your head off center line while you're attacking somebody. You have to move into them. To close the distance, you may slip off to the side, but generally speaking, as you go to move into somebody, that's why your hands up as you're moving in. Unless you're using the shell, you move in via center line. You go in via, but you try to come in off an angle. So instead of coming in straight directly at a person like this, I may come in off the side like this, or I may come in off this side like this, right? So that's the trick to boxing, you know. And it's, if your opponent picks up that you're coming in off an angle, they can square up, they can face you, and then they take away the angle. It's all about pivot work. Like, people don't understand boxing. It's a circle. You're constantly turning in the ring, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. You're turning in the ring. You're always turning. So the key in boxing is to understand that, and to understand how to move in that ring, so that you're always a step ahead of your opponent. But you see, a lot of people don't know about these things. But you saw what Shakur Stevenson did to Oscar Valdez, right? Right. That's all I'm going to say. So, you know, Bivol's a kind of fighter like that. I'm not saying he's Shakur, but when it comes to footwork, he's a fighter like Shakur. Okay? When it comes to footwork, he's a fighter like Lomachenko, like Usyk. Follows the same rules. Right? You're not going to back Bivol into the ropes just like that. And they say, oh, Bivol goes straight back. Well, so did Floyd. It seems as if Floyd goes straight back. But he's not going straight back. See? I'm going to show you all something. Right? So, let's say you're directly in front of me. You take 2 steps forward. I take 2 steps back to maintain the range. Okay? 2 steps forward. I take 2 steps back. But if I know the ropes is right here, then I can pivot out this way. So, you're coming at me. If my back touches here, it touches the ropes. What I do, I just spin out this way. I pivot out this way, and I keep going. Or I pivot all the way out. Or I dip under, and I pivot out the way this way. Or I dip under, and I pivot out the way this way. You got it? Listen. Pivot work. That's what boxing's about. So, you know, if you know how to box off the back foot, ain't no way nobody could really, unless you walk yourself into a trap, or your trap setting. So you're moving back towards the ropes, but really, you're setting up the guy so he thinks he got you on the ropes, and then he may overcommit or overreach, or he may feint you to see what you would do, and you just you do the predictable thing. You go up against the ropes. So he thinks he got you. And then the moment he starts to throw his combo, that's where you light his ass up, right? Because it's all about timing. You don't got to be the fastest guy, but you got to have his timing down. You want to wait till he just about to set up to throw his punch. And you're just watching for that. You're watching his body language and everything, and you're moving with him to get his timing. You see? It's not about how quick you are. It's about getting the timing down. So anyway, that's the beauty of boxing, man. Anyway, I said enough. We'll see what happens with Bivol versus Canelo. Nobody's a Nostradamus to really know the future like that. We'll see. It's boxing. Anything could happen. But I got Bivol by decision. All right, that's my pick. Never changed it since the day this fight was announced. I held fast to what I said. Canelo got to show me something with his feet and his foot movement. If he can do certain things with his foot movement, which shows me he put in the cardio work for the foot movement, I'm definitely going to say, oh, this brother, he finally did what he was supposed to do. But if not, he going to lose. I'm going to catch you guys later. I am what you need. You guys have a blessed one.